Gillis astray, a Momoa melee, and a new hateful-A. Coming up today on The Point.
A.
Qu'est-ce que tu vas me faire? Tu me fais pas peur. Plus de souper avec tes parents.
Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And look who's here. Friend of the show, haven't seen you in so long.
It has been a while, yes.
Actor, fashion expert, Danesh Hanbury.
Thanks,
I really
everybody.
love what you're wearing right now.
Thank you. I thought, I would do my little black t-shirt thing.
It's like the black cocktail dress.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the male equivalent.
I know.
The little Gucci.
No one can see your legs. For all they know, it is a black cocktail.
It is a black dress. Don't call me out on it. Sexy.
Is anything worn under that dress?
No.
No, everything's
Never.
in perfect working order. And now it's time for talking point number one. It's an old joke, it's okay. Talking point number one, Chick-fil-A. Okay, so.
I don't think that's what it's called.
It is.
So, here in Toronto, we recently got Canada's first Chick-fil-A, the fast food chain, number 3 fast food chain in the US, based in Georgia. The family that owns it, very anti-gay, very right-wing. They give their money to a lot of anti-gay causes.
Gay conversion therapy.
Gay conversion therapy.
That's also why they're closed on Sundays.
That's why they're closed. Even the one in Toronto.
Terrible business move.
Closed on. Well,
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all closed on Sundays because they're a religious organization, so you have to be with Christ.
Jesus' day.
So.
Sorry.
I agree.
You can't go to chicken church. You have to go to real church.
I go to Russia.
There was a big protest when the place opened here. Then there was the Christian Jesus parade that also stopped in front of Chick-fil-A. And there were protests, counter-protests. Still, when you for those who don't know Toronto very well, the gay neighborhood, the gay village, is on Church Street, and one block over is Yonge Street, and Chick-fil-A is not far. Look, it's what, a 5-10 minute walk?
If that, yeah.
So it's not like it's out in the suburbs, where it's right downtown, right near the gay neighborhood.
I thought that was home-owning homophobes.
Yeah. Still, like yesterday, I walked by Chick-fil-A, and the line was around the block.
Do people not have jobs? Like, how do you just line up for a goddamn chicken sandwich?
Okay, first.
People are obsessed with fads, and now this is the new thing, and they're just gonna wait in line like they did with cheesecake, like they did with charcoal ice cream, and
Tim
now
Hortons
it's a fucking
opening up
chicken.
its coffee shop. It's cafe.
That's true, yeah.
It's
just a cafe.
ridiculous. And they don't give a shit about what it stands for.
Yeah, I mean, if you're waiting, yesterday when there was a lineup around the block, there was one lone protester with a rainbow flag and a poster about conversion therapy, and how he had been a victim of conversion therapy. And I actually...
Was it the guy who started conversion therapy? Who came out as gay?
Okay, yeah.
No. But there was one protester, and I don't know, at least 100 people in the line.
That's sad.
That is sad.
It's very sad.
Good for him, though. I mean...
But what can we do about this? Or is there anything to be done? Or do we just accept that people... I mean, are the people waiting in this line, do they deserve shame and...
Here's the thing. It's not just about them deserving shame. It's about educating people.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I was
They
recently
just don't
talking to
care.
my mom, and she had been to a Chick-fil-A in the States a couple of years ago. And she's like, yeah, it was pretty good, but I mean, it's just a chicken sandwich, not a big deal.
Exactly.
And then I told her about some of the stuff. She's like, oh, I had no idea. I didn't know. I mean, it's a fast food restaurant. Like, I don't think that there's like all this stuff behind it. So I explained some of the stuff. She's like, okay, well, I mean, like, it's just a chicken sandwich. It's not injected with heroin. It's not this life-altering thing. So it's not worth, voting with your dollar. It's not worth supporting them in any capacity. Go to any other place and serve a chicken sandwich.
Well, and this is the thing. There is a Popeyes like 2 blocks away. And
Love
when I
Popeyes.
walked by, I love that chicken from Popeyes.
You hate Popeyes?
I hate Popeyes.
I don't like it either.
Well, whatever.
You
There's
had
a
their
Church's
biscuits?
There's a Church's fried chicken nearby. There's a Hot Star, the sort of Taiwan style fried chicken place.
Literally any other fast food place. It's
There's so many places to get fried chicken. What I don't understand is that you've got all of these chicken that might be better, or at least they're just the same. Right after the Chick-fil-A opened in Toronto, this news story came out. Purdue University in the States, a lot of university and college campuses are banning or saying no to Chick-fil-A being in like the student union and stuff. But Purdue University is allowing Chick-fil-A because it doesn't want to deprive its students.
the private students of chicken.
That amazing chicken.
You deprive your students by not having any options of sustenance as a human being. It's not specific chains of fast food that people are entitled to. That's just ridiculous.
I mean, why? So, if there are so many options, why are people? Somebody
Because
please explain to me why are people
literal
waiting in
human
line?
curiosity. They
Okay.
want to see what this tastes
So
like and
I'm
why it's
And it
better.
doesn't affect them. The people
It
that are
doesn't
online,
affect
for
them
the
at
vast
all.
majority of them, it probably
Yeah.
doesn't affect them.
It doesn't affect them, but even the
But it affects their
educational thing-
friends, and they still don't give a shit. Because I had somebody tell me, they posted Chick-fil-A, and I'm like, why did you go there? Like, like all the
But that's
shit.
it.
And they're like, I don't care.
and they posted
But they
about
all-
it?
They
They
posted
wanted
it.
to post it because everyone wants to post on
yes, but-
Instagram.
And all she said was, well, I also buy Nike shoes and go to Old Navy. And I'm like, okay.
I don't think those are the same things.
Absolutely not. But I was like, okay.
No,
whatever.
Old Navy doesn't give their. Okay.
That was just like other stuff having to do with like LGBT.
Because someone brought up Walmart the other day to me, and I was like, okay, but we're not talking about Walmart right now. We're talking about Chick-fil-A. So
Yeah,
like, let's
they
stay
try to
on
But that's the
compare how
frustrating
bad
thing,
one thing
though,
is over the
because
other.
everyone is starting to point at other organizations and other companies that do negative things and say, well, everyone does something bad, so who cares? And the sad thing is there are degrees of bad.
Yeah.
I mean, just because one company is polluting a little bit more than the other is a different thing than a company saying, hey, we support conversion therapy.
Yes.
Like, that's denying
very
someone's
different.
personal being. Like, that's a very big different thing. But again, for most people, they will never understand that.
No.
And to them,
100%.
they'll just be like, oh, but it's Nike does things too.
Like if you flipped it around and
sweatshops,
it
who
was
cares?
like, an organization trying to take kids away from straight people, they wouldn't be in the fucking lineup.
And the other
Yeah,
thing, and the
100%.
argument
don't
with the
understand
Walmart side of it too is, no one needs to go to Chick-fil-A specifically. There are people who unfortunately have to go to places like Walmart because they can't afford to
anything
go
else.
to other stores
Yeah.
because Walmart is terrible, frankly. There's a lot of things, not specific necessarily to LGBTQ that I am aware of specifically, but there's a lot of other basically human rights violations that no one should shop there, but people have to shop there. I sometimes have to shop there because I can't afford to go to the stores I wish I could go to and support, and I would love to just go to boutiques.
Okay,
and,
so that being the case,
but nobody needs to do that when it comes to a chicken sandwich. Go
Right.
to Wendy's.
Go to
it's
Wen-
probably cheaper anyway.
Fucking
You know
love
what I mean?
Wendy's. Wendy's is the fucking
Baked potato.
Wendy's is fucking
no, if
And they
you
got
want
a good
chicken, go to
chicken.
Popeyes.
They got a good
KFC,
chicken
come
sandwich.
on.
No, Popeyes is a lot better than KFC.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh.
Have you had Mary Brown's
Okay,
before?
let's all chillax. It's chicken.
I
get a
love
gavel.
chicken. Chicken is so
No,
good.
but I wish I would love to go up to everyone in that lineup and
Call them trash like I do.
do you call them trash?
Yeah, I walk by and I'm like, trash.
It'd just be nice to
That-
be able to
that-
find.
Good for
I
you.
think it'd be nice to find out if
Like, what was
they
that?
genuinely know, and then if it's somebody who is choosing to support the organization, fully aware of what's going on.
I
that's a
actually
different-
think it's
different
hard
story.
not to know because there has been so much around the protests, not only in the mainstream media, but in social media. And the people who are going to
Especially
Chick-fil-A...
in Toronto, anyway.
In
Toronto,
I think
for sure.
a lot of people, it is about Instagram. You know, people don't eat for sustenance. They eat for the Instagram photo. So they're Instagramming that they're a Chick-fil-A. So they're on social media.
It is called
They
an
know this
Instagram
is
feed.
what's going on.
going on.
And I think Tito is right. They just don't care. They are willing, the people in those lines are willing to throw us under the bus for a chicken sandwich. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of other things to get angry about, Shane Gillis, the comedian. Okay, he was one of the new hire. SNL recently had their season premiere, and Shane Gillis was supposed to be one of the new featured players.
Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Gillis, isn't it Gillis?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I thought
Gillis.
it was like Giles or Giles
So
or
what
something.
did he
amazing.
do?
So
Sorry.
he, in his
past.
past, he has made a lot of homophobic and racist, particularly anti-Asian comments and jokes. Publicly. And
Debatable
Didn't
whether
that happen
they're
with
jokes.
Kevin Hart?
well, yes,
Was it a
of course.
Yeah, but people still like him.
There's a bit of a difference here. It's a bit more nuanced because Kevin Hart was doing specific jokes in a stand-up. There's a bunch of stuff of him having a conversation. It's sort of like...
Shane Gillis.
Yes.
Yes.
On a podcast, even just a couple of years ago, or like, I think it was like 2017. It's not like the whole Trudeau thing that we were talking about in another episode that was like 20 years ago. Then it's a little bit like me saying something super racist right here on this show and then claiming it was a joke is different than like a comedian making a joke. And I'm not saying that I'm defending that, but I'm just saying it's not exactly the same as the Kevin Hart situation. Because he's claiming it was a joke, but you watch it, it's just a straight up conversation between two people that's racist. There's nothing funny, there's nothing framed like a joke, there's nothing that's
no structure.
trying to be funny necessarily, other than the part, I guess, they're claiming when they're trying to do an Asian accent and not pronouncing words with R's or L's.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
remember
yeah,
what
yeah.
exactly it was. Like that's the closest thing I think.
Well, he
someone
also
could
used
claim
a
might be
racist
joke.
term for
It's not the
people from
N-word. You
China.
can say the words. It's
No, I don't want to. The C word.
It's not. It's not how that
Like
works.
something in the armor.
Different C word.
Yeah,
I
it's-
don't want to,
So we think he should have been fired? Is that the consensus at the table? I'm curious.
I don't know. I'm very nervous about comedian. I know what you said about it was a podcast. So I'm a little nervous about comedians being fired for trying to, for making jokes, and then maybe the joke falls flat or whatever. That makes me nervous because then nothing is funny.
Yeah. It's a different thing, but I mean, I think if you take out of context something is different, and I think that might be a little bit more what you're talking about is taking things out of context. There are people who say and do things that are intentionally shocking, and the construction of that is the joke. I mean, look at a lot of like what Jimmy Carr does. I think he's one of the funniest comedians, and he's got these great jokes about like pedophilia and things like that. But when you watch those, he's intentionally trying to make the point that it is offensive, that he's going after that, versus just saying like, I think this is fine.
Right.
And I think the
then the
context and the intention of it is an important element to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think the argument that you would get in return of that is, I think it's something that Andrew Yang said on The View the other day, is that he's a young comedian trying to figure out what his shtick is and how to go about doing it. You're bringing up like very well-known comedians who've been doing it forever, so they know their shtick. They know how to deliver a joke. They know how to structure a joke. He's more new, and so that would be the argument that you would get in return of that.
Yeah, and I haven't listened to his podcast or
haven't
whatever.
listened
I
to
don't
it.
know. It makes
It's worth a watch just to get a context of him.
My
Just, I would
feeling
love to see
is
what you guys
always
thought
the
after seeing it.
response to hate speech is more speech, not
Yeah,
canceling
yes,
the speech. So
completely agree.
this may be a different situation. I'm not, but yeah.
Because he was hired with another Asian guy, was he not?
There were
With an-
three
yeah.
people
So
total.
I would have loved to have seen them be on like The View or some talk show and talk about it.
Right.
Talk
Well, maybe
about
they'll
it.
come
That's
on
what I-
here
Yes,
to talk about
do
it.
it.
Yes,
be
Shane,
great.
come
Come
on
to
the
Canada.
show. And now it's time for today's Midpoint. And now it's time for today's Midpoint, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be playing Beside the Point. These are news stories that don't fit in to our buffet, our grand melange of talking points. These are little
Isn't that Beyonce's sister?
Jesus Christ.
nibbles. These are little tidbits, side crumbs of news stories.
Okay, we get it. Go on.
Also, we've already used the phrase beside the point. Moving on.
I had to ruin it.
That's what I do. Hot take.
Okay,
This was his
headline
moment.
number one. Sean Spicer blames low score on Dancing with the Stars debut on anti-Christian sentiment. So, Sean Spicer, former press secretary, he's on Dancing with the Stars. He did the salsa. He didn't do very well. And now he's saying that
outfit.
anti-Christian sentiment was behind his low score. What do you think?
His face, his skill, and his scumbaggery is behind it. Hot take.
He's just a mess, and this is everything that's wrong with America. That's all I got.
It's like if someone's dad tried to be Jim Carrey from The Mask for Halloween.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's so good.
So terrible.
So, clearly unhappy with the score, Spicer took to Twitter afterwards, saying, quote, "Clearly the judges aren't going to be with me. Let's send a message to Hollywood that those of us who stand for Christ won't be discounted."
What a spicy retort.
Literally fuck your religion. Yeah. Like, you don't care.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Okay, number two. Poor Milo Yiannopoulos can't put food on the table.
Sell the fucking pearls around his wrist.
Thank you.
I'm clinging to dear life, he said, because he is bankrupt.
Didn't he just make a music video?
Yeah, but it
Why did he make he's not a musician.
Yeah, but he
Who is
did.
this person? I don't even know who
Oh,
this guy
so
is.
he's
Hate-monger.
gay, but he is one of on the forefront of the religious right movement.
It's like if Ann Coulter was a gay man.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Oh, strange.
Strange.
That is, yeah.
It's a little strange.
A little strange.
He's a poster boy for the alt-right. His latest stunt was serving as Grand Marshal for the recent straight pride parade that turned into a white nationalist
Send
Trump
me
rally.
to hell. Send me to hell.
But now I spent years growing and developing and investing in my fan base, and they just took it away in a flash. It's nice to have a little private chat with my gold star homies, but I can't make a career out of a handful of people like that. I can't put food on the table this way.
Oh my god.
What are we supposed
Yes,
to say?
Tito?
I got nothing.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have nothing to say.
He reaps what he sows.
Yeah.
Number three, IKEA forced to apologize for its jerk chicken cultural appropriation.
Oh, that whitewashed jerk chicken.
Sound like
Yeah,
jerk
so
chicken with
the
ranch.
home of Swedish meatballs decided to serve jerk chicken, and people went after IKEA, being that they are a Swedish company, they shouldn't be doing jerk
Yeah,
chicken.
like why would they even decide that?
Who cares? It's chicken. It's fair enough. Where
Ding!
you caught me. This is gotcha.
That's
Good
got
journalism.
you. That's got
No,
you
but I mean,
right there.
they're just serving a thing. They're not.
Serving a thing of chicken.
They're not promoting
Donating.
hate.
Well, here was the thing.
It's a Swedish company selling Swedish furniture from Sweden, made in Sweden. Why are you
But like, who cares?
If people wanted to
This
buy
was
it,
one of the
stay on
problems.
theme, stay on brand? You know?
whether it's a smart idea or not is different than whether they should do it.
Here's part of the problem. Jerk chicken is usually served with rice and peas, right? That's rice mixed with coconut milk, spring onions, garlic, thyme, and kidney beans. But IKEA served white rice and garden peas.
I'm hungry.
I understand.
Yeah.
And it was called
Tito's hot
cultural
take is that he's
appropriation.
hungry. I like it.
Thoughts?
I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm hungry. Number 4. Using your phone on the loo is giving you hemorrhoids, doctors warn.
What?
Is that why?
It makes so much sense.
It's worth it. Hot take.
Oh my god. Why?
So, because if you take your phone, doctors
spend more
say
time on the
you spend
toilet.
more
More
time on the
time.
toilet, and if you sit on the toilet for too long, you develop hemorrhoids.
Is that true?
That's true. That is true.
What about people that like read newspapers, like old people on the toilet or magazines?
Because
They probably have
And
hemorrhoids.
they get hemorrhoids.
Hold on though. Is it like a cumulative issue?
Well, yeah,
well,
it's
yeah.
like a one-time thing. That would be horrible.
Well, no. If you just sit on the
Like, does it happen over time?
I'm saying, like, somebody has like a really long session of words with friends on the fucking toilet. I don't know.
Does it happen over time? Or
Yes,
like,
over time. So if you're
like
spending,
how much time?
well, they don't say, but
And how do you, like, is
on
there a
your
way
anus.
to, like, reverse the effects?
You freeze.
don't take your phone into the toilet.
Yeah,
I'm
get
just
that.
saying, is it like the damage has been done?
Well, hemorrhoids go away.
Yeah, you get
I don't know. I don't have hemorrhoids. I'm not sure how it all works.
you get that preparation
H.
Lather it up.
How do you lather it up?
Little fingers.
What was that, Adam? Okay.
Hot take.
Hot take. Hot take.
Number 5. Okay, this is a quiz. You may have seen it.
I didn't see it.
I want you to guess which state this story comes from.
Florida.
Man arrested after sword used in fight over wheelbarrow.
Florida.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's always
take.
Florida.
A Florida man wanted a wheelbarrow so badly that he he took up a sword. Curtis Miller
As you do.
was arrested on second-degree attempted murder charges stemming from a July 15th incident where he allegedly brandished a samurai sword to threaten a jogger during a fight over a wheelbarrow. The victim claimed
Was the jogger jogging with the wheelbarrow?
the jogger found it in a trash pile, but
Fucking Florida.
he. So there you go.
So the jogger stopped and tried to take the wheelbarrow home, and this guy wanted it.
Yeah.
And attacked. Okay. Wow.
Samurai sword on hand.
That's
Where
that's
did
one
where
wheelbarrow
did
right
you get
there.
the sword
Who just
from?
has one on hand? Like,
Does it say? I have to look.
let me just go to my kitchen
get the
cabinet and
sword
get a
from?
samurai sword.
Oh, but after the alleged confrontation, he jogged home with the wheelbarrow in tow.
Wait, which guy?
And his
No,
toe?
like, and the
jogger.
other guy's toe. He cut
And
it
the other
off.
guy's toe? With the samurai sword?
All right, moving on.
In the end, nobody got the wheelbarrow. The security footage shows a woman removing it from the property. And
Diversion tactic.
speaking of Florida, a Florida man has just broken the Guinness World Record for the longest nail extensions.
Is this real?
It's gross.
real.
Hot take.
Odilon Ozair,
Cody P is shaking.
who actually first set a world record in 2018 when his world record for the world's tallest hat at 5 feet 9 inches, now has broken the record. Why is that even a world record? I have no idea. But the new world record, the longest nail extensions.
Okay, but it's not longest nails because that's different.
No, that's different.
This
is
looks like the worst chocolate factory tour of all time.
What's a nail extension?
the nails are just over 3 feet. But he had to overcome several obstacles, including the discovery that the acrylic would break under its own weight when he tried to surpass the previous record of just
So
over
those are
3
glued
feet.
on.
Those are glued on.
Get a life. Literally, like, do you know how much
Ladies.
like
You literally can't do anything
Literally.
without them coming off. They're
I
too heavy.
have
You
one
see him
thing.
try to type.
see him trying to masturbate?
Family Guy episode?
Hello?
I have one hot take on this. Florida.
Yeah.
And there is today's midpoint.
Much all the hate. What do they get from Florida?
And now it's time for talking point number 2, Aquabod. Okay, so a recent survey by Planet Fitness has showed an increased appreciation in dad bods. A dad bod, so people with dad bods say they are more relaxed in their life, they are happier with their body, they have more confidence than people without dad bods, and
speaking
most
about yourself?
Americans say that the dad bod is attractive. 65% say it is. That men with a dad bod are sexy, 61%, and that the dad bod is the new six-pack, which is 51%.
This is all in America. I'm not surprised
Yes.
Donald Trump is their president.
Well, what? Okay, why do you say that? What's wrong with?
Not into it. Not into
How
it.
is the dad bod the new six-pack? That's just lying. That's saying, like,
literally not
TV
true.
is the new sandbox. Like, what?
What's the sandbox?
Well,
Nothing.
that's
I don't
That's
know.
basically
It's
guys with dad bods that are just trying to say like, hey, I'm sexy.
Well,
Like,
but
that's-
this is
they're trying to push
It's
that
just
point across.
proving
Yeah.
that everyone is sexy in their own way.
right. Thank you.
Tito, that was so sweet.
You don't believe it, but yeah. But this is what's interesting, and this happened over the summer when we were off the air. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. Jason Momoa, Aquaman, See, this is what
Can literally
What?
murder my vagina in anybody.
Same.
I would also be fine with Aquaman murdering Tito's vagina.
How do you define dad bod? Because okay,
not
so
a dad
he was
bod.
on
Show it.
vacation over the summer.
No, that's a fit man.
That is not a
That's-
dad bod.
That is a fit man.
He was criticized on the haters came out and said that he was criticized for having a dad bod.
No, that's
Dad
not,
bods
that's
don't
not
have that thing that cuts in like that.
The cum
Like, that's-
gutters.
The hashtag cum gutters.
Tag Tito in all of those ones. All those
Tag
posts.
Team Tito? What?
Yep.
Not anymore. I can't do it.
Well,
I can't do
Only
that.
on
this is yeah. What do you think?
This is dumb.
I think
Yeah.
I would love a dad bod, apparently. If that's what a dad bod
You
is.
want a dad bod or you want his dad bod?
I want his
dad's bod.
all up on my
It was
dad
Jason
bod.
Momoa's dad.
I mean,
up
if
top.
that's what we consider a dad bod, then yeah, I would think that I would be very comfortable in my skin and my body if that were a dad
Right,
bod.
And
exactly.
that dad bod is the new six-pack, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's not what a
But
dad bod
no.
is.
No.
Like, if he wants to eat a little bit more or terribly after filming for months, looking hot as shit with all of those abs, like, who the hell cares? Let
Legit,
him eat
leave him
Yeah.
alone.
until the next movie.
Yeah.
Plus, Jason
doesn't-
Momoa, there's a
wait,
picture online
wait,
of Jason Momoa with his bodyguards, and he looks more dangerous than his bodyguard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't, no.
Didn't people
no.
say the same thing about Channing Tatum when he got like that dad bod?
They say the same thing
Also,
about
Channing Tatum
guy.
does not have a dad bod. I haven't seen the photos, and I can tell you he doesn't.
Well, but this is the
Guaranteed.
thing. This
He
is
just ate a little too much.
He can have any kind of
One
bod.
day got a little bloated. It's fine.
say.
I said he can have any kind of bod, and I'm down.
Right, yeah. I mean, but I think this is the problem, that we hold people to such crazy standards. I mean, yes, he looked different in Aquaman or as Khal Drogo, but that's because he was prepared. But like, you have to prepare to look like Aquaman. You can't just wake up like this
Tell me
and
about
be
it.
Aquaman. So if this is him on vacation, this is him just letting it all hang out.
Because he's also like a big guy
No,
too. You know what I mean?
sorry.
He's not
Like-
built as like a lanky, thin little like fucking
Okay.
Ed Norton
Excuse me?
or something.
I'm
I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying it's part of
Might
the
be.
like it's just part of how he biologically exists.
This is when I hate just the pressure we put on men specifically to look a certain way, because as you said, if any of us had this body,
I'd be thrilled.
Let me just say,
Thrilled.
from the straight perspective, it's like you guys in the gay community face this as a bigger problem. It's like in the straight community, it's women who have it much, much worse.
Thank you.
Straight men don't deal with it nearly as much as gay men do. Because I mean, you even
Biological.
saying like this pressure, like I've never felt pressure really. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think that that's the kind of the
I
same.
feel
not
pressure
just wanna
all
throw
the
that
time.
in.
pressure. I mean, you work out a lot, and
I work out a lot. I mean, I do feel a certain sense of pressure as an actor.
That's a bit of a different thing. Just in general, though.
But in general, no, I don't. In a daily life, I don't feel like I need to be like a six-pack guy. But I do feel like I want to be fit and I want to be. Everyone
Which
wants
is
to
fair.
be attractive, you know.
and
but
and,
yeah.
and Tito, do you feel the pressure?
Oh my god, every day.
on his vagina.
Yeah.
I literally hate myself.
No.
That's how I feel too. Every morning I wake up and I go on
He also
Instagram.
hates
I'm like, yeah,
I'm kidding. We all
Well,
love
Tito,
everyone here.
we love you. What's Bop of the Week?
are we done already?
It's Jax Jones featuring Ella Henderson called This Is Real.
Oh, this is real.
This is real.
Jack Johnson's back.
That is real.
That is real. That is real. Sorry. People who go after him.
It's
Dad.
unattainable.
Stupid.
Stupid.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/thepointguys. Of course, don't just subscribe by hitting the red button, but also hit the bell so that you are notivated, so that you are notified every time a new episode is available. We're also available on the new streaming service Fearless. Go to your app store and download the Fearless app for all their great content. If you really want to help us out, go to our crowdfunding site. That's on Patreon, patreon.com/thepointguys. Our iTunes, our audio podcast, our audio podcast
Get the
is also
audio
available
podcast.
on iTunes. Check us
everywhere.
out there.
Hey.
Let us know what you think about anything we talked about today. What about dad bods? What about Jason Momoa? Let us know. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, The Point Guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. We have a new show every Tuesday, so we will see you next Tuesday on The Point.
WA